Blog Talk Radio.
So, as far as the Moorish nation is concerned, without a shadow of a doubt, people have elected RV Bay Publications as the online university for Moorish history, law, etc. Right? That's just what it is. It's been like that. Right? The people have elected Taj Street Bay as their master teacher when it comes to, same thing. Moorish history, law, etc. People have, that's not those individuals taking a position. That's the people as a nation realizing that these people have put in certain amount of years' work in our affairs as far as raising our mentality from a dead state to a living perpendicular. So being that they did that, we honor them, we respect them, so they're acknowledged as being who it is that they are. Right? So this is the same thing with the positions that are in the temple, which if people are not the ones that elected those people at the podium, then that would mean that, one, the people who are part of that weren't there in the beginning, so they pretty much got who they got because there were no people, right? Or the individuals that have the seat are actually abusing their power, and it's reverse now. They're the ones with the power, and they're dictating to the people, opposed to the people dictating to them. So the Grand Sheik position is an office, just like sheriff is an office, and they're supposed to follow the supreme law of the land just like every other official that's around here. That's why in Noble Drew Ali's writing, Divine Warning to the Nations, he told you to go to those who know law in City Hall and the officials in your government. He's not talking about Republican whatever. Yeah, your government. He said your movement. Is he talking about some European version of something? No, he's talking about yours. Okay, so if he says your government, why would people assume that he's talking about the eagle? When your government is your Aboriginal and Indigenous officials who are supposed to know law. That's why he told you go ask them. And if you go ask them and you know more than them, and they're not giving you a favorable reply when you question them on law, that's supposed to let you know something. Because Noble Drew Ali told me, go to those who know law. In City Hall, okay, which is the municipal people, and then in the officials in my government, okay, which would be Grand Sheik, Grand Governor, and all these other people who got, high seats. Right? So I will not answer the question with regard to Grand Sheiks, or what is a Grand Sheik.
Islam. All right. Okay, so once again, it's cleared it up. I appreciate it, Grand Sheik Cujo. Go ahead and press 1 on your telephone pad. Don't be afraid. This is the time for people that didn't know to ask the real question about what do Moorish Divine National Movement and what is actually a Grand Sheik. And a Grand Sheik can tell you better than anybody else. This is actually a Grand Sheik that deal with the principle of the Moorish Divine and National Movement. So this is the time to ask the questions, people. Don't be afraid to ask any question. All you have to do is press 1 on your telephone pad. You can just press 1 on your telephone pad. So we're going to take the first caller, area code 210. Welcome to the Amazight Bay Show. I am Amazight Ramothers Bay, Grand Sheik is Grand Sheik Pujo Ottawa L. We are calling from Northwestern Maxim, so state your appellation and where you're calling from, caller.
Hi, this is Kifa Hatmat El Bay, and I'm in the Western United Washita, San Antonio, Texas. And I'm a first-time caller, and I have a lot of questions, so I'm not sure if it's just about what is a sheik or questions in general.
Well,
questions in general, Mother. You could ask anything that you will right now.
Okay. I wanted to know what is out there for women, and I have just recently went to the website where the different publications are, so I haven't ordered anything yet. My concern is really to get education for women, especially concerning birth certificates, access to midwives and having children, and also I used to have a daycare, and I'd like to know what I can do to help foster children. What type of paperwork could be filed to stop the kidnapping of children?
Well, to start, thank you for calling in. We appreciate you having the courage to push one. Hopefully that would inspire some other people. With regard to information for the sisters, if you go to blogtalkradio.com /MHHS-Eyes Wide Open.
Okay.
If you go to that blog talk, there's a series of classes on there called Sisters Standing on Law.
And
everything that you asked could be answered there. My position is that being that you're a mother, certain questions that you have should be answered by mothers, because your son's egos, because you accept them as fathers and all these masculine titles, they think that they have some superior whatever, so that they can put something onto you, where there's no son that can put you onto something more than someone who's your equal. So I would say, with regard to the first questions that you asked, you get your answers through that Sisters Standing on Law blog talk series called Sisters Standing on Law, because it's women, mothers, sisters, just like yourself, who are peaking right now because of this age of information. And a lot of your answers are going to be found within. A lot of your answers are going to be found when you start connecting the dots, which all the dots are the different aspects of yourself that are in other females.
Okay.
Because all you mothers relate to each other on a higher plane than we sons relate to you. Like, for example, a sister and her king could go wherever, and a sister would know that another sister is sending energy signals to her man before the brother picks up on it. Right?
Yes.
Because you guys have a different connection. That's why when sisters unite, the brothers are automatically going to jump on board. But it starts with what you're saying, knowing certain things, knowing about the concept of the birth certificate, and the fact that that's what stunts our spiritual evolution, because it's the one who birthed us that's putting us in that position. So we're going to accept it because mother said, get a birth certificate. You know what I mean? What ain't nothing wrong with it. But now we're starting to understand the underlying implications. You know what I mean? And we're doing the things necessary to make sure that, we try to know how to maneuver being in this position.
Mhm.
And the same thing with the information regarding the midwives. Same thing. The sisters standing on law, and their shows are also just like this one. It's a call-in show. Actually, call in. So you just listen to those archives. There's years worth of archives on there, and I guarantee you that you're gonna get all the questions that you have answered by your sisters through that platform.
Okay. Thank you.
And if you have any other questions, you could present those, because we're not shying away from questions. What specific things, like, relative to the birth certificate and things like that, are things that the mothers have to relate to you, because you're bringing the being onto the plane. You would relate best with another being that does that.
Mhm.
Because this is spiritual before it's cards and papers. This is divine first. This is abstract first. You know what I mean? And when you get onto those archives and you start, listening and receiving the energy through your senses, it would have a greater impact than anything we can tell you on the show with regard to that topic.
Okay. All right. I have another question. Can you tell me, is it going to be on the RV Bay publications about how to take your house of the tax records?
If you go to, I believe it's the mortgage fraud page.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. Yes.
They should have some information on there relative to that. But one thing that you don't want to do is put your situation before this information.
Okay.
You want to have the information first, and then and then your situation, how this information that you now have applies to you getting out of or seeking remedy for, or exercising a certain position with regard to whatever situation that you're dealing with. Because if you look at it from the situation first, like, okay, well, I just got this letter and these people still saying whatever like that, and then I found out about this information that, if they send me something, I don't really have to pay. Paying 200 notes means whether you're living on the street or not, or fighting it. And over $200, you lose everything. Maybe just pay the $200 right now because you're still not really there yet. Because remember, the people who you're dealing with, they know everything that we know, that we talk about on this show and on our rebate publications. They know this stuff. It's not like they don't know, they're in the dark. We're the ones that don't know. So when we start exercising certain things, they already know where we're coming from